that title.
Geo-blocking doesn't work, so why bother?
And your time starts now.
All right. So the thing about geolocation is it's been around for a very long time. Everyone knows IP location, cell tower triangulation, and so on. And that's worked well enough for really 10, 15 years and for most business use cases. The gaming industry in the US is, when I say gaming, I mean gambling, is rather different. The US has some of the most amazingly rabid gambling laws that you could possibly imagine. They take it very seriously in this market. And if anybody wants to offer their online casino or poker site or horse racing site online, they have to prove that the user is definitely in a territory where it's licensed and not somewhere where it is a criminal offense. So what that means is that if you are one of these brands, these are all our customers, and you take a customer from the wrong side of the state line and your geolocation system isn't good enough, you could face up to a 5-year criminal sentence. And not just you, but the directors of the payment method used by the player. And that's the director of Citibank, Amex, etc., PayWizard, definitely on the hook. So that basically puts such a high bar that this whole sector wouldn't even exist without effective geolocation. And we created the company nearly 4 years ago to do that. And we have 100% market share in the US today with all the major brands that you could think of. So geolocation does work, and it works across all the usual devices that everybody uses. We've been installed in over 200 million devices already. So why would you bother? Now it's theoretically possible, so why bother? It's all about premium rights. Premium rights sell for premium prices. And if you look at these sports rights, these are really sports and Netflix's own content expenditure. These are big ticket items. Why are TV networks around the world paying these kind of prices for sports rights? Because sports drives subscribers and advertisers. And what will happen is if you don't have the exclusive sports rights, you're going to lose a subscriber, and then your whole business is under pressure. ESPN's name has come up quite a few times today in regard to that. So they pay more and more to get more exclusive rights. The issue is, what if they're not exclusive anymore? What if you can just fake your IP address and get your content from wherever you want? Suddenly you don't have to have that cable contract. You can cut the cord and you just use your local ISP and broadband to get your content from wherever in the world. Legally, some people see this as a victimless crime because you're only breaching terms and conditions to do it. But there is a major impact. The major impact is being felt in that up to 30% of users in some markets, like China or Indonesia or Brazil, even Canada and Sweden, are territories where well into double digits of all internet users are using VPNs or DNS proxies to fake their location. Because why wouldn't you? There's such a cornucopia of content available to anybody outside of the US normally who wants to access this content. And they are. This is such a large number, you can't sweep bad geolocation under the media industry's carpet anymore. This is now a big issue, and it's affecting valuation for content. Any Google search for any kind of content you want will expose how easy it is to access it by just faking your IP address, sometimes completely free of charge. So we did a little case study out of interest for ourselves to the Premier League recently. And if you just Google how to watch Premier League from anywhere in the world, you get links to sites like Smart DNS Proxy. They have free trials to access them. And if you go to Smart DNS Proxy, they'll say, sign up to this site, Premier League Pass, which is a legal licensed Premier League licensee site, and you can access, it's meant to be just for people in New Zealand, but you sign up and then you use Smart DNS Proxy and you can access the content from anywhere in the world. Perfect streaming quality thanks to the wonders of DNS proxies. So we did some analysis on SimilarWeb. Who goes to Premier League Pass, a New Zealand only Premier League site? They all go to all these location faking sites. Smart DNS Proxy, IPVanish, Unlocator, Overplay.net. This is where their traffic is coming from. And if you look at their exit traffic, the number one destination for all their exit traffic, an error page on unlocator.com. Premier League sells for £2 billion a year exclusively for the UK alone. UK traffic is going to Premier League Pass. They're paying 10% of the price of a Sky Sports subscription to get twice as many games as you can legally watch in the UK. The value proposition is undeniable. So what can be done about it? A lot. GeoComply has 35 engineers that do nothing but this. This is all we do. It's a boring subject, but it's our specialist subject.
Well played. I think...
There we go. Time for questions.
That was great. So, do you know the extent, what are some of the hot areas for people using VPNs to get into content? What areas of the globe? I mean, I suppose people would typically say China, is that right?
Yeah, China, they're also doing it because they can't access Facebook and so on. So there's one of the big red herrings around this is that blocking VPNs means it's a privacy issue and you're cutting down on people's ability to access real news. It's nothing to do with that. If we were working with a site to stop people accessing the content they shouldn't do, all it means is if you're a Netflix customer in the UK, you can only access Netflix content that you should be able to see. It's nothing to do with you being in China and you can't access Facebook to find out what's going on. So the VPN usage around media content is growing, particularly in territories where there just isn't much good quality local content. And in that sense, I mean, it came up in a previous panel today. If you have Game of Thrones starting in the US and then its launch, its premiere is delayed 6 months in the UK, that is only going to drive people to fake location or go and pirate a copy of that program. And this issue of location and territories is cutting right across the OTT and TV everywhere initiatives. And interesting, you come to sessions like this and everyone is talking about TV everywhere and OTT and content being localized and customized, but there is nothing in the fabric of the industry to actually make sure the territorial rights are in place and can be upheld. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I imagine that rights and the complexities that throws to this industry are going to be a big problem going forward.
So it sounds like sound advice will be get it available legally is probably your best.
You have to release everything globally.
Yeah.
You can't have this delayed release plan, even if it means that some seasons, some countries it's summer, some countries it's winter, and you don't have the luxury of delaying premium content around the world. But the other issue is which small country's TV network is going to pay a premium for premium content when they know that everyone's already watched it somewhere else? So what does that mean for the content producing industries? The entire value chain is about to be ripped apart. And the EU, 10 days ago, has just released a white paper which is putting a dagger into the heart of selling media in Europe on a country-by-country basis. They're basically outlawing territorial ring fencing. So the whole area is about to be a real red-hot topic.
David, thank you so much.
No worries.